instantly regret ditching the Advocate. Played Advocate this turn because I can play 2 spells next turn. I don't know if you guys can even see my hand. Sure, that's a good one. Our opponent has a hell of a connection and likes to press F2. Basically our favorite thing. If he blocks, I will end his dude's life. I guess I shouldn't talk about my hand. Rip. There's a lot of lands in this deck, so drawing this many lands obviously isn't ideal. That's big enough to block his thing. I guess it's fine. Obviously not happy about it. He's not playing creatures and he has 4 cards in hand, so it's a good chance like one of them's a Hazoret or a Chandra. Or a Hazoret and a Chandra. Either way, I'm not in great shape. Oh. This is the MOCS, and I'm getting browned by the only deck that I want to get paired versus. I did draw only 5 spells and 12 cards though, so 5 spells and 13 cards. And I'm dead on board now, for the most part. I just can't win now. He's got 4 damage and just lands. Oh, alright, well. If I'd drawn that Ballista a turn earlier, we'd probably won. On to play, these 2 cards are okay. Brad takes out a couple fatal pushes, but I gotta be honest, I'm just never taking out a fatal push. He showed me a bunch of Collective Defiance, so maybe he's not even on Chandra, so maybe the Never's not good enough. I would consider this my only good match, and I got crushed without them drawing a Hazoret and without them drawing a Chandra, so it's a little disappointing. I did mulligan that game, though. Alright, we'll keep it. With some lands and everything will be okay. There's a land. This is Brad's list. I think it's tuned pretty poorly, to be honest. Ginger also brings in sky boats, which I'm confident is just wrong. He's a better player to me, but I don't even understand how that's remotely right. Rip. That one was a good one. Oops, I shouldn't have pressed F6. So you're gonna braid that. Fine. Hopefully you won't have an abrade for the gear hook then. He's got 2 abrades. I'm pretty screwed, but I didn't really have any tools in my hand. Again, I just have... He's got double abrades, so great. We drew 5 spells, 6 lands yet again. He didn't have to have a second abrade. Like how he's done that much of my life and only played 1 spell to stun damage to me. Pretty sure I can't win from here. I'll be shocked if I can win from here, let's put it that way. Rip. Also drew 0 removal spells when we sideboarded in extra removal, so that's something. Yeah, this helps some. Doesn't help a lot, but it helps some. Cropper, which means I have to kill it. He's got 4 damage right here. If I block this, he's just going to draw 2 cards. I'm going to go down to 6. Have no way to gain life, so I pretty much can't win. Wow. Oh, never mind. Thought he didn't draw the 2 cards for a second because of the lag. Oh, let's see if we can kill him before he kills us. Pretty unlikely. Given the fact that we're at 6. Earthshaker Kenra does 4 damage to us next turn, so no matter what, we're dead. Unless we draw another removal spell next turn as well. can't really attack with everything because of the Kenra. Sure. I'm at 4. He's got a guaranteed 2 in his hand. He has to have another land, right? Or another burn spell, I guess. I guess this makes him have to block. He's even got an Abrade I lose, but he's got a chump block on this turn. So any burn spell kills us. And he obviously has just a million burn spells in his deck. Yeah, it's a Chandra. We're dead. I don't think we made a single mistake. I just don't think it mattered. Oh well. That was quick. So we got paired versus literally the only match I want to get paired versus, still lost. That's when you know your day is going to be in for a rough day. Let's take off the screen hider for the league. Rough day. Not sold on this build of the deck. MOCS, Magic Online Championship Qualifier. We need to go 6-2, so. Well, it's not all but lost, but losing round 1 definitely. If I wasn't streaming, let's just say I'd probably drop and go to bed if I wasn't streaming. I guess if you're going to play cards like this, you have to keep these hands. Even though I think this hand's pretty atrocious. Oh look, another mono red deck. I need the land. The Snake's the worst card in my hand, so probably just play Snake into whatever he has. They tell me I'm supposed to beat this deck. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to beat this deck. You can just have a Kenra, or sorry, a Cropper, and I'm already at 8. I don't even know why this would. This doesn't even on paper make me think that it should. Like for example, it's only got 3 sifters. I think to beat the red decks you need 4. Brad lost to the red deck in the top 8 as well. That's why we didn't play the Advocate last turn, even though we had the option to. But like we're still at 7. Gotta be able to play double spells in a turn to beat this deck, I think. If so far behind, it's just like any hazard, it kills us. Him just drawing 2 lands probably kills us. Him having a Chandra kills us. Yeah, just everything kills us. It does not, but I don't think Harvester's as good versus these red decks as people think. All these red decks have 4 of Braid's main deck. What's having a 1 or 2 of Harvester even matter? What does even having a 1 or 2 of Harvester even matter? I mean, I'm at a virtual 3 life because he has Chandra. I can't imagine any way that I would be dead. Well, we don't want that. I guess if he's making that play, he has to have another Chandra in hand, right? Or it doesn't even make sense to me. Oh, okay, that's fine too. He could just have a shock and we're dead. Shockerini and we're dead. I mean, it does things, it just doesn't do anything. Sure, we'll put it on top and wait for our opponent to cast a shock or draw a land. We somehow have to win now before our opponent draws a land? Or a burn spell? Seems pretty unrealistic. Well, at least that card doesn't seem like it matters any. That card matters some. I gotta sneeze, hold on. So, if I make a token and kill that, he still has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers, and I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4 with 2 counters on that. Attackers. If, been doing good. How are you? So if I minus, and I kill that, and I kill that, then he has 4 attackers? Well, that's disappointing. Alright. Well, I gain another blocker this way. The only cards that we can beat that he can draw are things like Falconrath Gorger. Could beat another Karl Zev, possibly. Yeah. I guess I could have Fatal Pushed pre-combat, but I'm kind of hoping he'd make a bad block. Oh wow. Our opponent's doing all sorts of weird things now. Two blue-white monuments from first and second. What'd you end up playing? Well, hopefully he just draws a bad card. We have a chance if he just draws bad cards now. Yeah, think of our opponent at 20 life. That seems like pretty ridiculous. Alright, well we can still beat this if we draw a grasp. Blue-red emerge. Yeah, blue-red emerge is a pretty fun deck. That, my friends, is not a grasp, so we just die. Maybe he's bad at math. We didn't have enough to kill him even if he hadn't blocked. I don't think Nisses are very good in this match, but I don't think the 5-drops are very good in this match either. Did you have Hours of Devastation in the blue-red emerge deck? Well, that's 0 and 3 in games played today, all to mono red, which is what Brad said is the only reason he built this version of the deck. This doesn't beat the other black-green decks either, and it doesn't beat zombies. That's fair, that's fair. Third's still pretty decent. How many people play at your store? Like, how large is your game day? I don't like this card in the match because I figure my creatures are trading off early and I don't want to just pay 5 mana and get it abraded like last round. This build of the deck has kind of 29 or 28-ish lands too. But I find the Oath finds lands more than creatures. I mean, there's 19 creatures in the deck, there's 24 lands in the deck, so mathematically the Oath's going to hit a land more often. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of people at our game days either. I think we had 17 for one and 13 for the other. I believe were the numbers, but don't quote me on that. Alright. This hand's bad, but I guess it's keepable if any hand's keepable. I do think it needs a full force Sifter, but the problem is Sifter's bad versus every single deck except mono red. Sifter's bad versus every single deck that's not mono red. Which is kind of an issue. Like, you don't want Sifter versus anything else. Oh, that's pretty nice. Hope they work out well for you. Wait, can you still see the Ghostbusters thing? I thought I turned it off. Oh god. Sorry, I thought I turned it off. I misclicked it. So far, Gunner, I'm pretty sure the only deck that we are favored to beat's Mono Red, and we've lost to Mono Red all 3 games. This is basically how our hands looked all 4 games we've played. Goodbye, little Nissa. Nissa prevented 4 points of damage. Nissa did work. Do I even want to play that? It just seems better. I'm not blocking with this, so I might as well be attacking with it. How long until our next round? Oh, years, because we just got smashed by Mono Red in like 10 minutes. Hey, Free Duke's even playing. I wonder if Jabber's playing. Jabber is in fact playing. It went up more last night. Like, it's going up every day. And go, little walking ballista, go. Be my everything. Yeah, literally every good player on the planet's in this event. And then they let me in for some reason. Well, that's nice that he missed a point of damage for some reason. Sweltering Suns. I'm losing to the guy that has Sweltering Suns in his deck. Probably a play mistake. I should have cast a second Walking Ballista, but somebody was knocking on my door. No, this was definitely a misplay. I was, like I said, distracted. Oh, well, I'm just dead. I have no outs. I can't even block, can I? 8, 9. Or I can't even, like, kill the cropper? Well, that doesn't help any. Nothing helps, man. I'm just dead again. I don't know. Like, I don't think there's a draw in their deck that I can beat. I don't think you could let me pick their draw steps for the rest of this game and let me pick my draw steps and me still win. I legitimately do not think there is any combination of cards from either decks that lets me win. We have grass, but like, we're not going to draw them. Half of our draw steps was lands again, but then again, this deck's a 28 land deck. Maybe I can draw a snake. Or sorry, maybe I can draw a Virtus, Gearhulk, or whatever and be able to block this. That's the best case. Still dead to whatever they have? Oh, a third Chandra. Or is that a third Chandra or a second? It's a second Chandra. Yeah, 2 Chandras last game, too. The Traverse plan's pretty terrible, though, is the problem. Like, I don't see why you would ever want Traverse. If you want to beat Mono Red, you need to play the Energy plan. The Energy plan with Sifters. This hand seems terrible, but I guess it's a keep versus a blind opponent. Oh, look, it's Mono Red again. So we've already lost again. Three opponents in a row that are Mono Red. Alright, fine. I'll kill that thing. I was hoping to kill a Karlzev. I don't even think Zombies is actually favored versus Mono Red. I think it's 50-50. The Mono Red players win the dice roll and sideboard right. I think they beat the Zombies players. This worked out well. I guess we have a better chance when our opponent doesn't play a burn spell. Next turn I can potentially Gear Hulk that thing up. Oh, can't Gear that thing up. Gear Hulk that thing up anymore. They're gonna play Hazard and we're gonna lose. They're gonna play Hazard and we're gonna lose. I think Zombies is too complicated of a deck for me to play with, too. One of my primary concerns always. Wow, he attacked this guy. That feels really good for me. Which sentence? Which sentence is going to get owed? The opponent didn't have Azeroth and we won. I think that's a pretty premature concession by him. Brad Nelson Sideboard Guys says on the draw, probably not to sideboard any. On the play, to sideboard out some Fatal Pushes. I'm 100% never sideboarding out a Fatal Push. I think that was a very premature concession by our opponent. Alright, this hand seems like a keep. Even though I've got this card that seems absolutely terrible in the match. It seems even worse on the draw. Seems to be. Probably not just zombies. Probably like Blue-White Monument and stuff as well. Yep. On the play. He doesn't think you need it. I guess he thinks you're blocking enough that it doesn't matter? Now, my opponent missed a land, so I'm going to go ahead and be greedy and play this. If my opponent hadn't missed a land, I would 100% play this. But if opponent missing a land, I'm just playing this thing. I'm not blocking because Shock can kill this. Huh. I guess Shock can kill it anyway. Because this doubles the negative counters. Gotcha. I'm an idiot. I should have blocked then. I'm stupid. I wasn't thinking about it doubling the counters. Yep. Was not thinking about it doubling the counters. Yep. I see that now. I could have prevented 2 points of damage if I was smart. I think it's still right not to block though. Oh, I drew a Blooming Marsh? I thought that was a Hissing Quagmire. I thought it was a Hissing Quagmire. I think it's still right not to block there. I don't know, it's probably not right not to block there. I got a haircut. I no longer have a neck beard, so I can't play Magic anymore. Sure. Everything's attacking that dude? Alright, well. I guess we'll protect our dude. I had a shock anyway. So our thing died anyway. Wonder if it's ever worth, like, just blocking that and taking 2. Not gonna find out. Want to hit F6 so bad, I don't care about this point of damage. Don't care about that point of damage at all. I just want to hit F6. I guess I'm not blocking. MOCS is 5 matches in progress. Our buddy Jabber got the win. It is very, very bad if I like the F6. I agree. I'm not blocking, so might as well be attacking. I'm not pumping it up because he could have a burn spell. If he's going to use a burn spell, I'd rather him use it on his turn. Hadn't even noticed. They're all foils, too. That's a foil, right? Looks like a foil to me. Opponent's taking his time with this turn. He's got his focus pants on. Let's go ahead and take it, I don't care. Well, I guess we'll try to pump this up now. Sure. Hey, it's a sneakity snakety. So we have 9 lands and like 6 spells again? Yeah. 9 land and 6 spells again. And that's a Chandra, boys. So now I need to draw a Never and a Murder? He's not protecting his Chandra. I guess he doesn't have to protect his Chandra when we're just going to draw another land. I mean, it has Death Touch, so I guess killing his Harvester is decent, but... like, it's certainly not bad to kill the Harvester. But he's probably not going to block with 1,000,000 life. And I might need it for a blocker in case he draws like a Cropper or something. Yeah, we're done here. Alright, we're not done here. Let's see if we can kill the Chandra. If we can't kill the Chandra, then we're done here. The opponent drew every removal spell in his deck, it seems like. 3 shocks, a couple of braids. Because of the and Crash Crop or whatever, I want 2 different blockers. Starting to think that the Sky Sovereigns are better and better in this match. Alright, so we have 2 games to finish this round in. Maybe Dinger's just onto something when he sideboards these in. Come on, opponent. I don't want a double Q. Oh. Well, I guess we're going to be double queuing. That's going to get confusing then, a double queue with a hand hider on, so. Alright. This is the best hand we've saw of this deck tonight. Wonder if I'm supposed to play the Catacomb Sifter or the Walking... Or, wonder if I'm supposed to play the Advocate or the Constrictor here. Constrictor gives me a better chance for a nut draw and should make him waste his turn, I guess. Because, like, he kind of needs to kill this. Alright, well, he didn't kill that. So that seems good for us. The other match has started, so we're going to try to finish this game. I wonder what's the chances we can just race. Probably none? Yeah, probably none. That's a scout boat. Scout boats do things. Trust me. I know. Alright, I'm willing to attack now, I guess. Have multiple blockers and I have a fatal push for his harvester, so I'm definitely willing to block or attack now. On the other table, we are on the draw, but we're going to try to finish this game before we go back to the other table. Sure. What do we got? Is Ophanissa better in a random draw? Probably? Ophanissa has to be better in a random draw, right? Could have let him pay the energy first, but gotta be honest, trying to get the game over with. I think Ophanissa's better in a random draw. I still think it's better just to slam creatures here. If he's got Swelter, it's not even that bad for me because we still have a snake and he'd be practically tapped out. Alright. Well, the hand hider goes back up and we play the match that matters now. I'll minimize that for later. Sure, this hand's fine versus pretty much everything but mono red, and it's not that bad versus mono red. I know you guys can't see the hand, but it's like, it's got some lands and some creatures and a removal spell. Probably just dead. Probably just dead. Hee. Is this deck any good versus that deck? Can't be any good versus that deck, right? Well, boys, we can be attacking now. Alright, well, they've not put anything that matters in the graveyard, so I guess that's good. Nope. Bad times, friends. We have 2 Dissenters in the sideboard. That's probably not enough. Probably bring in the Transgress as well. Oh, double God's Pharaoh's Gift, you say? Well, if he has a refurbish, how in the world do I beat that? If he has a refurbish, I guess I just lose to it. We had a pretty good draw, too. I guess I'm just going to pretend like he doesn't have a refurbish. And kill 2 of his creatures? I'm fine with that. If he's got a refurbish, I'm conceding anyway, so. So clearing his board for our other attackers seems fine. There's 2 of the refurbishes in his graveyard. A lot of these decks have cut gate, so we're hoping he's a cut gate type guy. Didn't cut gate. Huh. Well. I guess I attack again? Continuing the attack seems a little like lunacy. Whatever. It's only 4 creatures, so this just makes a 5th. He doesn't have to have another castable creature. It's probably a bad sign for me if he ditched this when that's plenty good just casting it. Pretty ready to concede. There's just no tools in my hand at all. We've got like an Openness and a Sylvan Advocate. Some removal spells that don't matter. Have no way to kill an artifact main deck. Well, I guess that's a good sign. He doesn't have to have a creature. He's got the Rivulet or whatever. Huh. Well, never mind. He just draws a million creatures. Something I rarely do when I play that deck. As witnessed by the 4 or 5 days I streamed it. Even finding a 6 creature was pretty hard for me. The only thing left in my hand is generic removal spells. And he hit with that too. So I'm assuming we're just dead now. Because all he has to do is get back to Cataclysmic Gearhulk. If he gets back anything other than the Gearhulk, I guess it's not completely over. He's not got to an angel yet either, so that's kind of good. Champion of Witch, sure. Kind of want to draw an untap land pretty hard. No, the Sun Champion hurts. Wow, that's annoying. What do you got? He's got the Sun Champion and the Gearhulk. Both of those are pretty bad for me in this spot. Untap land? Not an untap land. Need to attack with that, but I kind of can't attack with that. Doesn't have an angel yet, but he does get to mill 2 cards. Okay. Oh, we'd had a pretty good chance there if we'd hit the land. Obviously not a favorite, but... So this beats a Gearhulk? It's kind of beats a Gearhulk, I guess. We got plans, boys. This game's closer than I expected it to be. Like, he could just draw a lot of irrelevant things right now, and it'd be great for us. It's pretty bad for us if he has an angel in his hand. It's pretty bad for us if he has... I guess a Cataclysmic Gearhulk would be bad for us. We'll have to see what he has. How many creatures he has post-combat affects some things as well. The fact that he can get back another Sun Champion post-combat is pretty bad for us as well. Sure. Is this enchantments too? Oh, it is enchantments. I guess I have to click on that thing. I guess I still want that land, just because it makes this thing big enough to attack. Not actually sure what that thing being big enough to attack does. It also makes it block a bunch. Angel of Invention. Alright, I guess that does things. Wow, he's picking this one? That's not the one I would have picked. Definitely lost this game. Like, I don't have any outs. Just kind of want to see more things in his deck. I don't know, if he doesn't gain life this turn, I guess there's... Oh, a second God's Pharaoh's Gift? Or... Yep, no chance. He just has to get back Sun's Champions now. He's got multiple Sun's Champions in his graveyard. Sure. I guess we'll just concede and not waste the time. Game was closer than I thought it'd be. May have won if it wasn't for that card. Cards that are good versus him that I have. Transgressors, I guess, are okay, but they're not great. Sure. Oh, I have these Dispossesses. That seems good. Sure. All that crap seems good. What seems bad? Whatever. Walking Ballista doesn't seem good here. Should I probably rather have a Walking Ballista than the 4th Oath? This deck's not impressing, though. Maybe I need to grass if I'm getting rid of the, nah. Sure. We'll keep it. Seems atrocious, but whatever. Have lands and spells. The lands and spells just don't seem like they matter. Lands and spells and lands. Doo-da, doo-da. Oh, doo-da day. Ghostbusters thing is up, right? Yeah, you guys can't see my hand. Sucks to be you. I assure you, there's nothing good in it. Our opponent mulliganed the 5. Which makes me really wish we didn't have this hand right now. Because if he puts on top, that means his hand's probably better than ours. Oh, he did put on top. Great! Feel like our opponent gets punished none for mulliganing when they get to put on top. That was a good draw for me. I drew my 3rd land. You son of a bitchin' deck. My hand's really good now that I hit that land. My hand's actually really good now that I hit that land. I don't know if it'll be fast enough because of what their deck does, but the hand is officially incredibly good when we hit that land. Another land, by the way, would be El Fantastique. Another land is the type of land that makes you do a little dance when you hit it. If he discards a God's Gift, like we're still not in good shape, because screw this deck. No God's Gift. You're saying we got a chance, fam. Didn't hit a land. Rip. Probably just bringing a 4/4 back. Which depresses me a little, but it's fine. Nobody cares if they bring a 4/4 back. Not a 4/4. Nice. They're probably missing a land drop then. Or they're probably trying to find it with the planning, rather, is what I meant to say. Feel like we need to draw a couple lands now? Well, that's kind of a good draw, I guess. So they're about to have a 4/4. Guess I want everything I have to be able to attack for a 4/4? Nah. Don't want any counters on that. You have to cancel it when that happens. So 5/5. Oh, he's done. Wasn't letting me put my counters on because it was doing that laggy thing that they do every time they concede. Do I want some Grasp of Darknesses on the draw? Nah. One. One lucky Grasp of Darkness. Alright, what do we got here? Not a good hand is what we got here. I think it's still a keep. We have some lands. We have an Oath and a Transgress. I think that card that I just drew made my hand a lot better than it was prior to that turn. Kind of awkward on mana. We only have one green source, so we're going to have to make what's probably a less than optimal play on this next turn. We probably need to just jam the Sylvan Advocate. Even though that seems terrible, we probably should be jamming for a Champion of Wits. Yeah, on hindsight, I'm just going to cast a Transgress. We discarded one creature. It's being hidden because this is an important tournament. What's this one do? Oh yeah, that's that one. Alright, I guess we'll start with the Champion of Wits then. That supports town. I guess we'll Oath and hoping to find a forest or a blooming marsh. Hey, guess what we found, fam? Neither a forest nor a blooming marsh. Eh, might as well go again. We're playing black-green, lose real bad. We're playing black-green, don't cast our spells. It's kind of a fun deck. I think everybody should try it. Right on time, Blooming Marsh. Right on time, little Blooming Marsh. It's actually kind of good for us because he may play Deck and Stone now, and we have double Sylvan Advocate in our hands, so him playing Deck and Stone's good for us. I'd like to find our Artifact Destruction spell fairly quickly, but when he has a second Refurbish in hand, that doesn't even seem great. So I kind of guess I'd rather draw a Dispossess kind of get quickly. Yeah, I mean, I don't care. Most people that are stream sniping aren't listening to you. They're just trying to quickly look at your hand, because if they have to listen to you talk and all of that, it's just going to go way too slow, and they'll never be able to see anything. Oh, I misclicked. That was supposed to be a snake. Shit. Or that was supposed to be an advocate. That was a pretty bad play. That was supposed to be a Sylvan Advocate. Wow, that was extremely bad. Actually, it was correct. I thought it was extremely bad, but now I see that it was just correct. No, it was correct. Wow, he's getting rid of that one? Not upset about that. Gear Hulk, you say? Alright, we'll Gear Hulk. But only because our opponent asked us to. So that gets one counter, that gets at least 2 counters. And that'll get 1 counter, I guess? So that'll be a 4-5, that'll be a 4-4, that'll be... I don't know. Our play was right, I'm just dumb. Which means, had I not misclicked, I would have made a misplay. If I had 3 green sources, it was better to do the other, but I didn't have 3 green sources. Wonder what opponent's plan is right now. Do they have fumigates or anything in their deck? They may be in a spot where they just need to try to get lucky. Oh, you're killing that one. That one seems like an interesting one to kill. Huh. God's Pharaoh Gift is what it's called, right? Oh, they have the full 4 in their deck. What else do they have? They have no fumigates. 3 more Angel of Inventions. And 2 Cataclysmic Gear Hulks. I hear that's pretty good. They kind of really need to draw the Cataclysmic Gear Hulk now. And even if they do draw the Cataclysmic Gear Hulk, we have a Manland, we get to keep a Sylvan Advocate, and we have their Gear Hulk. So we're definitely going to take this game down. They didn't have an out. There's no Fumigate or anything in their deck. Huh, interesting. Didn't expect to win that one. Anyway, back to taking the Hide Hander off and playing in the event that doesn't matter at all. Need to win 1 out of the next 2 to acquire a pity chest. I think that's the big problem with the God's Pharaoh Gift decks. They're incredibly powerful, but like that build's not particularly consistent, I don't think. Hey, we get to win a dice roll. Is this the first time we've got to play first? Oh, this hand's gasoline. This hand's got spells for days and days for spells. Got a backup sneakity snakety. This hand might even not be atrocious versus mono red. Probably is atrocious versus anything that's got a friggin' blue mana source though. Like, these cards just seem very bad versus the blue-red decks. Alright, counterspell something. See if we care. Make sure I turned off the hand hider. I did. The Swelter kind of crushes me here. Phew. That one's good enough to play. Screw Swelter. Incoming Nissa Ultimate. Probably not an incoming Nissa Ultimate, by the way. If he doesn't kill the Winding Constrictor in response, I'm going to go ahead and minus the Nissa. Alright, he killed it in response, so we're not minusing the Nissa. Up, up, up and away, says the little Nissa today. Hours of Devastation's pretty solid here. I believe I will do battle for one. So it gives me a bunch of scries if he does have the sweeper or whatever. I'm fine with having a bunch of scries. I have to imagine the blue-red matches are very bad for us. This deck doesn't seem set up for it, at least game 1. Game 2 and 3, I feel like I have a better chance because I get to bring in Dispossesses and Transgresses. That card's exactly what we wanted to draw. I'm gonna keep attacking because screw this guy. I don't really care if he has a Gear Hulk. I think it's worth playing this as Gear Hulk protection. Because like now if he Swelders on the following turn after playing a Gear Hulk to attack the Nissa or whatever, I would have this and this. So it would stop him from Gear Hulking a Glimmer in this spot. Probably not ultimating this Nissa, by the way. Sure. I assume you have to counterspell it. Which is good for us. I don't want to land. So now he can't attack the Nissa even if he has the Swelder. Which is really good for us. I would have rather had a land than that. He's got a second Gear Hulk, that's pretty bad for me. But in fairness, pretty much everything's really bad for me right now. There's not very many good draw steps for me right now. Jace? Jace is a main deck card now? Assuming he pretty much has to have disallow. I'm never going to try to ultimate this thing, so might as well make him use a disallow on that if he has it. Let's go ahead and kill off the Jace, I think. Sure. Oops. This kind of sucks because we still get crushed by hours or by Sweltering Sun, but quite honestly, we don't have a lot of outs to things like that anyway. Interesting. Needs another disallow. Sure. Oh. So now Hours of Devastation puts us in a pretty bad spot. Because he has more good draws than we do from an even board state. Huh. Yeah. Rinse repeat. One of these will resolve, by gosh. Another Gearhulk. Okay then. Oh, he's getting Glimmer this time. Does he already have another disallow? Most of these decks only play like 2 disallows now. Wow. Sure. I'll just attack with it all then. Figure out what happens in a little bit. That's kind of an odd spot. So he just conceded? It was 13 damage, but you would assume he would have had something, right? I would have assumed he had something. I probably wouldn't even went for the kill. Anyway, versus versus blue-red, the pushes have to be bad. Graphs can't be very good, but you need to keep some in case they have the thing in the sideboard plan, which most of them do. Walking ballistas aren't great. Rishkars aren't great because Rishkars kind of try to make you like jump to the board. Same thing with Constrictors. You try to play a more controlling row post board. So you're going to want the Transgresses. You're going to want all of the discardish spells. I say ish because Dispossess doesn't actually always get a card from the hand. And since he showed me a Jace, I kind of want this card, but I don't think this card's very good. So I'm going to take out another Walking Ballista. He used to take out a Gearhulk, but Brad doesn't like the Gearhulks being taken out, so it's just 5 matches left over there. Looks like we're going to be duo queuing some more. This is a keep. We have a Ophanissa, we have a Winding Constrictor, and we have a Doomfall. We get around to the Oath at some point in this game. For now, we're just going to keep our lands on curve. We have a 3-drop, and then we have a 3-drop and a 1-drop, so it's better just to try to Oath later, I think. Well, the thing in the ass is a little depressing, but we have a lot of counter spells. Or we have a lot of removal spells, rather, is what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to go ahead and play this one. This is the one I want him to counterspell more. Like, I don't want him just to be able to censor and save that. We're hoping this Doomfall can do something in this turn. If he has a counterspell for this, it's pretty bad for me. Alright, he didn't have a counterspell for that. Oh, well, we'll snap take the Gearhulk. I'll just keep upticking with Nissa. Just like I did last game, uptick it forever, absolutely never plan to ultimate. If he has the Hours of Devastation, we can play the 8-8 Gearhulk, but playing the 8-8 Gearhulk isn't great versus the Braid deck. Thank you. I can already tell you it's not going great. I have the wrong deck for the event, and that's fine. It happens occasionally. I didn't even know you were here, George. You hadn't said a word. He's tapping 5 mana for a pull for tomorrow? Bye, Hun Hun Gun Gun. Gun Gun to Hun Hun. So I'll just attack with this one. This survives Hours of Devastation now, which makes me pretty happy. So he discarded a land when he did that, so... Sure. Do I want you? I think you're fine, right? Sylvan Advocate seems fine here. I'm fine with keeping a Sylvan Advocate. This really just needs to be a 6/6, right? Yeah, it really just needs to be a 6/6. This better plays around our braid. Double refinement. That sounds to me like daily stuff. Maybe Kilvin the Advocate might have been wrong. Locust God. Gotta be honest, didn't expect that. Okay then. Hey, I literally tapped a black mana, I'm confused. Alright, well this thing's gonna die, so... guess I'll just attack with those two? I guess they... Hi. Didn't expect the Locust God, so this is kinda bad for me. If they have a way to stop the Verdus Gearhulk, it's very bad for me. But they need something. Like, we have a lot of stuff this next turn. What does opponent have? Right, well, that card doesn't do anything. I mean, it does some things, but you know what I'm trying to say. I'm pretty screwed if they have a braid, but if they don't have a braid, this isn't terrible. This has the look of an opponent who has an braid. Looking a lot less like he has an braid now. Could have Harness Lightning to kill the 4/4. They'd still take 1 point of damage, though. Yeah. Harness Lightning for the 4/4. We still have a 7/7. We have multiple good attackers. Our other match has started. Well, that's unfortunate. Start with this and see if we can find anything that's game breaking. Oh, sweet. Another red deck over there. Let's keep attacking. At some point, they're going to show me a braid or something, and then I'm going to concede. I need something because they're technically dead on board to the attack if they have nothing. Our hand over here looks terrible. Wow, we don't have. We're on the draw, and we don't have a 1 drop or a 2 drop versus Ramunap. I have to mulligan that, right? Alright, great. We probably don't win this game without drawing one of our 2 Dark Ballistas. I mean, you know he has something anyway, though. He had like 5 or 6 cards in hand he's been drawing every turn. Pretty much have to draw a Walking Ballista or we can't win, I think. Oh, another one of those in hand as well. This is a tilt. Anyway, gotta turn the hand hider back on because it looks like we're going to be playing a game 3 here, so just going to be doing the duo queue thing. And that hand's worse. That hand's worse. Alright, well we kept 4 cards. Go us. I don't think any of the cards that we kept could have won. Or any of the hands that we kept could have won. Our 4-card hand's literally our best hand that we've had. Our first hand, we didn't get to play a spell until turn 3. Our second hand, our only spell was Nissa. And our third hand, our only spell was Gearhulk, so... Don't know how you keep those hands. I don't think you can keep those hands. Need him not to have a counterspell and us to draw a Walking Ballista. That would be the only out we have at this point. Just gonna keep attacking. If he kills some stuff, we might get to scry or something. Thought this game has been going bad for a while. Sure. So turn over? Sure. Turns over. Even if we're not dead, I'll sack the Scion to look for the Ballista. If we're somehow not dead. Well. Can't block with any of that. Can't think of any way to win this game over here either. We're already at 5. Five going to 2, best case. That's the literal best case. I guess we'll sacrifice this and look for our potential 1 out. May not even be an out. That ain't it. That would have helped on a number of other turns, though. Alright, well, we lost this game. And we're dead on board to this game. I really don't like the Gearhulks in this match. That's the sideboard for the 1 game. Is there anything else we want to change over here? Not particularly. the Rishkarna might be a little bit better on the play than the draw, but I don't think it particularly is. This hand's pretty bad, but we have lands, we have a Transgress, we have a Sylvan Advocate, so it's probably a keep. I'm gonna let that one time out over there. Well, we don't really want either of those cards. Neither of them do anything. We just wanted a land. And we did not just get a land, so. That's pretty bad for us. Yeah, we drew a land though, so. Played Advocate, or played Nissa first. I have to take the land. "55 seconds, we'll still pause a little more over there. Oh wow, they're missing a land. Oh, no, they were going to miss a land drop and then they hit. Yeah, we'll play around Sensor then. Hit another land? That's pretty strong. Alright, 9 seconds. We'll submit on that one. Try to tab back in, but Moto lags a little in those spots. Well, Glimmer, 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 Gearhulk. We'll take the Gearhulk, I guess, and kind of pray. Pretty bad spot for us. What do we got over here? Alright, we got an acceptable hand. We got a removal spell on one. Yeah, it's pretty bad. He's got more glimmers in his hand than we have cards in our hand. He does have to hit lands though. I'm talking about my hand in the daily. I don't care about the daily. I only have the hand hider because of the MOCS. This blue-red match is the daily. I don't care if people see or know about this hand. I care about people knowing about the hand versus the red deck. I don't care at all about the daily. People can ghost me on the dailies if they want. I don't care. I only have the hand hider because of this tournament over here. We just unfortunately are duo queuing in a spot I don't really want to. Alright, well, I guess we'll start with this. See if it resolves. Oh yeah, but he can't really play around the fatal push. Interesting. Am I racing over here? Can I race over here? Can I put no value on the Eldrazi Displacer? Yeah, I put no value on the Eldrazi Displacer. I'm attacking for one less point of damage like this, but if he's going to use the Braid that we know he has, I would rather him kill the Scion than the Rishkar. Alright, well, he drew a Harness Lightning off of one of his Glimmers, and he had an Braid too. Alright, well, we're what I like to refer to as absolutely wrecked on this table. If he drew another, if he drew another Gearhulk, I'll probably just concede this game and go back to the game that matters. So if in exactly 3 draw steps he hit Gearhulk, Harness Lightning land, pretty sad then. Alright, well, we're still waiting on him over here, so at least we're not belayed. Again, over here though, we again have just nothing in our hand. At this table. We have all sorts of goodies in our hand versus the mono red player. I don't know if the goodies are any good, but we have them. I have to assume at this point he has another relevant spell. Every card in our hand on this table is still a land. Like, we still just don't have a spell. Alright, Blue Gearhulk, we're done here. Alright, let's go back to the match that matters. Still waiting on opponent. Alright, well, he played his Mountain. And he played his Chandra. He ticked up the Chandra. Wow. Oh, okay. Hmm. Well, I thought we were going to do well in this game down here, but then we just don't have a land, so I guess it doesn't matter. I think we had the hand to win on this bottom table. All we needed was one land. Not a land, so bottom. If he just plays Glorybringer, the game's over. This black-green deck just does not beat these red decks. I refuse to believe that they do. I routinely beat them when I'm on the red side, and I'm not even been competitive versus it on the green side. Four damage to target. Sure. Yeah, another removal spell. Our opponent's beating us without playing spells, by the way. Nice. Another Nissa. We sideboarded one of these out because I think they're terrible. So it's always fun to draw another. I have multiple Fatal Pushes in this hand that just have been absolutely useless. Had I left the 5-drop and the Nissa in, like, it wouldn't have been any better. This is a Glorybringer, we're conceding. Alright, I guess we won't concede then. We can't win, but we won't concede. No. Alright, we're done here. That's the second mono red deck we've lost to. Let's look at people by name. Let's turn the thing off and go back to the daily. Or not daily. I keep calling it daily, but I mean just a competitive league. So we're playing for Pity Chest. I don't think any of these losses that any plays would have changed it. Probably be 4-0 right now if we were playing Approach. We'd probably be 7-0 on today if we were playing Approach. It's like when you play this deck, you have to play a bunch of just bad cards to try to beat mono red, and as you see, we're still just not beating mono red, even with these bad cards. Which is making us weaker versus all of the other opponents. Literal the best hand I've had today. Oh, and probably versus blue-white approach when you see that land, which means we have 0% chance to win this match. Providing our opponent draws reasonable anyway. Obviously, you always have some percentage chance to win because opponents can just draw poorly, but if opponent gets to cast his spells, we can't beat that. If that's the deck he's on. He may not be the deck he's on. Like, there's other decks that play farmlands, but since I'm an approach player, I just automatically assume that they're always on approach when I see that. Rip sensor. May not have been worth playing that when we don't have another spell in our hand, but like they have 10 2-mana interactive spells on top of the sensors, so. And then they have Fumigate, so like playing slower doesn't seem like it does anything. See, just like waiting doesn't seem like it does anything at all. And now we've drawn 8 lands and 12 spells again. And we just lose. Guess they could not have a Fumigate. It'd not have an approach. No. They're tapping mana in their main phase, and they played a land, so it's 100% Fumigate. I mean, I have to put 3 counters on this to even deal 1 damage. There's no point of it. Spreading the counters around doesn't do anything. They have Blessed Alliances, so. Like, the Sylvan Advocate's just going to die anyway to the first Blessed Alliance they play. That's the best case scenario. Nine lands and 15 cards now? Don't really have an out. There's no Gantes or Lost Legacies in the sideboard either. This stream's about to get real boring as I don't think I'm going to be able to stomach playing another event with this deck. Nope, Brad cut him. One of the many reasons I think this deck's bad. I think Oath of Nissa is clearly bad as well. Like Oath of Nissa all night has not got us a land when we needed it, and has pretty much only got us lands when we didn't need it. Well, I would say if they never draw a relevant spell, we have a chance, but the fact is, we don't ever draw a relevant spell. What's it matter? How do we have a chance? Yes. My favorite thing is Gunting into a Liliana, them killing my Gante, and then me casting the Liliana and getting the Gante back. That's my favorite thing. My favorite thing in the whole wide world. Haven't been paying attention to what he scried. He's at least put... Oh. There's a black mana in his deck. Maybe this is an approach. Even though he's tapping 7 mana, so it has to be approach. What the hell's the black mana in this deck for? What the hell is the black man in his deck for? Oh shit, son. Yeah, I'm not really paying attention to what he's doing, to be honest. I have no outs, so there's no reason to. Not attacking. Don't want to lose a land to a Blessed Alliance. If he shows any draw 2, I'm just going to concede. Never mind. No draw 2. Can't concede. That's unfortunate. So I think that's 5 cards down and we're dead. He just drew it. Short. Well, none of our cards are any good versus them. I guess these are fine. Guess that's fine. Pushes are kind of bad. The graphs aren't very good either. Capri can dispossess for their couple Gear Hulks, but whatever. It's not worth it. How long till we lose over here? Oh god, still have to wait forever to lose the next round. Tilt. Wonder how Dave's doing. I was not a fan of the deck that Dave's playing, so... O2. Obviously, Oliver 2, 3-0. Just got to win 5 in a row over here. Leverhart 2-1. Dingers 2-1. Jabbers 2-1. Really? J-Bones 3-0? I've never saw him play a reasonable deck. Match started. What do you know? We don't have any creatures. Can we keep this? I guess we have to keep it and hope that the Ophanissas are good, right? Like, this seems like a terrible hand. If you're playing these oafs, you have to keep things like this, right? I don't even know who that is. So I just kind of want to hit a land on almost every draw step? That's not a land. That's technically a land. It's not a land I want, but it's still a land, right? That's the land I want. Kinda like him to use his mana right now. Alright, we'll play this one then. Didn't want to play the Nissa into a sensor. Playing the Nissa into a sensor seems like a huge fail. I don't think it's worth minusing the Nissa on my guys either when he's playing the 4 Fumigate deck with the 7 minimum ways to draw on this turn. Yeah, well, maybe it was better. Untapped. Never mind, it didn't matter at all. My decisions mattered none. I highly believe this match to be stone unwinnable if you don't have Lost Legacy, and pretty unwinnable even if you do have Lost Legacy. "16 matches. I don't think I have enough time for another." Hey, yeah. I come get you. Goodbye. Oh. Hey, you didn't kill it. I guess that's something. No, never mind. He still killed it. And we have no cards in our hand to hiss 5. Not drawing any sideboard cards. Don't know whether he has or not. Well, Linvala doesn't seem like it does much. So at least there's that. Sure. At least there's that. We tap this mana quick. This typically means it's a Wrath. Yep. Don't even know what our good draws are now. I certainly don't think it's the turn 9 Transgress. Can't beat either of those cards. I guess we'll take that one. Maybe sideboarded approaches out. Maybe we win. Whee! I don't know how the dirty little green creature deck's supposed to beat the like 6 or 7 Wrath of God deck. Doesn't seem like even a reasonable ask, does it? Well, there's an approach, so the game's just over then? Winding Constrictor into him not having anything is pretty much my only out. If he has anything at all, this doesn't win. He didn't even cycle, so he clearly has something. Hopefully it's not the third Fumigate in the top 24-ish cards. Another Winding Snakey would be nice. Spread the counters out as much as possible. Attack for an actual million. So he needs 2 of these? Sure. We sacrifice that one. Still 24 damage, so you need another. Alright, so if they get it this turn, they win. If not, we win. Well, I guess we don't necessarily win. Oh, wait. They didn't have enough to gain the 4 life. Yeah, they were 1 mana shy. Nice. I was thinking they were gaining another 4 life. I guess it wouldn't even have mattered. What the hell was I thinking then? That's not right at all. I'm only attacking for 18. Whatever, we stole a game. Much excite, we stole a game. I sounded like an idiot, but much excite. I wonder if these are sideboardable in. Not really. I wonder if I can bring these in. They cycle and they kill Gear Hulk. Probably better than a Grasp. Nah. Just need our opponent not to draw particularly well. I can't believe the math was that bad, was it? They'd already gained the 4 life when I did the math, I guess. Well, we have to mulligan this. We don't even have lands. Alright, we'll keep this terrible hand. I believe you're better than a random card, so... Well, it was better than a random card. We would have drawn 3 lands in a row if we hadn't took the oath. Censor? Rip. Certainly don't think I can play around a censor, though. On turn 2, anyway. I can play around a censor on that turn, I guess. That's fine. Starting to think our opponent either only brought in these fetid pulls for either cyclers and or sideboard cards. And if it's just cyclers, I'm 100% sure it's wrong. It's an interesting time to do that. I guess I don't really want any of them, but this is the one I can cast this turn while still playing a Quag, so. Not drawing any of our sideboard cards in these matches. I'm actually going to play this one. Card's pretty annoying for them. You could just have a Gearhulk here. As a Gearhulk here, we're pretty boned either way, so. Not really worried about him Gearhulking me. If I gotta sack something, I guess I'd sack that one. Because we have a follow-up for that one. He could just untap and play a Wrath, though, so that's potentially bad, but I think the Sylvan Advocate's just more threatening than the Quagmire in general. Oh, that's an approach. Well, that's just a bad sign for us. They play an approach, we play another land. Both games I've played more lands than my opponent, who is doing nothing but cycling and playing lands, by the way. Like this game, for example, 6 lands, 10 spells. Fuck. I had F6 pressed. I don't even know why they still have Unsummoned in the deck. But I had F6 pressed. And they hit another, so it didn't even matter, but whatever. That's kind of a tilt. What do we got here? 2 matches outstanding? Yeah, we don't have enough time for another game. Yeah, I'm confident that the deck I'm playing is pretty poor. But let's see if we can run hotter. For anybody that's new, there's a link to my Twitter down below. You can follow it if you feel like it. I wouldn't. I'm a little too emo right now to tell people to follow it. I don't think I've made a play mistake that's actually affected a game at all today. I've made some plays that were poor. Like I said, I don't think any of them have actually affected the game. Thank you for following, Drench, if you're still around. You're probably not. Guess I'll go upload today's YouTube video while I'm at it. Just waiting on one match. I'm not going to start another queue like that. And good news, if we lose this match, we're done. We get to log out and be happy. pretty well want to lose exactly this match, or we want to go 6-0 from here. I guess technically it's 5-0, isn't it? We definitely do not want to win another game unless we're actually going to win the next 5. So far away. Playing. Have no idea yet. I guess it depends on how the rest of this event goes. And things of that nature. If this event goes well, for example, I wouldn't even have enough time. And if it gets done early and I can find enough cards for a relevant deck, I probably will head to maybe Hobgoblin? Not sure. One moment. Oh. Deck seems pretty bad. So that's the thing, Josh. I don't think my draws have been bad, and I think the loss of the lands are to be expected because there's 28 lands in the deck. Like I don't think I've been getting unlucky. I don't think I've been getting unlucky at all. I think my deck's not constructed well enough. Oh god, red-green ramp. That's another match that we just don't really win, isn't it? I know I said this last game that we lost, but again, this is the new best hand I've had tonight, and you guys can't see it. If our opponent doesn't have an abrade, providing they are on ramp, this hand's got a good chance. If they do have an abrade, this hand has very little chance. I have some ideas on what we should play, Sean. Well, I know my two decks that I want to play, but you probably won't want to play either of them. It all depend on whether I go to Hobgoblin or Page 3. I've not decided yet which I'm going to go to. Or if I get to go to either. I may not get to go to either. You know, if we have really good luck, we could just win the next 5 rounds and then I don't have time to make it to either. We'll be the first person that's went 5-0 in a spot like this. They're not both approach. I don't know if either of them are approach. I do think approach is the best deck in the format right now in a vacuum. Well, actually, the red deck's obviously the best deck in the format, but all things considered, that is. He's probably on ramp. Well then, if he's on ramp, we're going to make the greediest plays possible and hope that we get there. He doesn't have to have a removal spell. There's only 4 in his deck. He definitely has a removal spell. He paused way too long. If he had a removal spell, he should have used it, by the way. Because the correct build of this deck probably should have Blossoming Defense in it. I guess I'm going to take the Sylvan Advocate for the sole reason that I don't have lands to play other things. I don't even want the Sylvan Advocate. I literally don't want the Sylvan Advocate. I want the Gearhulk, but I only have 3 lands, so. The hell good's getting a Gearhulk do if I only have 3 lands? It doesn't seem like it does much. Oh, that's fine. Our opponent had another removal spell. This uses my mana more efficiently. I didn't even know that the ramp decks played Harness Lightning, so maybe he's not ramp, maybe he's like Teamer or something. Looks like he is Teamer or something. When you have 2 snakes and both snakes are deader than fuck, you're in pretty bad shape. I think we can beat Teamer. Feel pretty decent versus Teamer. I think the Murder's good here. I think these cards are good here. Kind of think these cards are good here. I don't think you're great. I don't think you guys are great. Probably shave a couple of these two on the draw. I don't want to get rid of that. It's probably right to take out all the walking. At least on the draw, it's probably right to take them all out. It's probably right to take out all 4 walking all 4 of the time. Yes, I said all 4 of the time. I could have brought in Doomfall in case he plays Bristling Hydra into an empty board, but that seems kind of thin. That lining up seems pretty poor. Boys, we won. We won a game, boys. I wonder if our opponent's duo queuing or something. Grats. Too bad Hearthstone is a disgusting, terrible deck. Or game, rather. Like, there's nothing redeeming about the game. At all. It's not even fun. It's just bad. You should play Eternal. At least Eternal's good. It's because you don't love thinking. Hearthstone's probably the second easiest card game I've played in my 20 plus years of card gaming. Like every deck's not emo at all. I just legitimately think Hearthstone's easy. I think Hearthstone's a game you can get legendary 100% of the time if you have even half of a brain and put any effort into it. Like, I don't even think there's a divide between the best players in the world and, like, just pretty good players. I don't think there's much of a difference. Whereas in Magic, like for example, no offense to Sean, but Sean's a pretty good Magic player. Sean looks like a child compared to somebody like John Finkel. And I don't believe that to be true in Hearthstone. The easiest was Overpower. It was a comic book based game made back in, I think, the late 90s. Our opponent DC'd. I apologize for the delay. I can't really control them DCing. Like, the only thing I respect whatsoever about Hearthstone is deck construction. And, like, none of us build decks. If you're actually going to tune and build your own deck and stuff like that, that's where the skill in Hearthstone is. Opponent's back. Well, I mean, we can play Magic. We can play Magic all we want to play Magic. So, Magic is a very fun game. So, shouldn't we compare every game to Magic? It's not like Magic's not accessible. All games should be compared to the game that you can literally play anytime you want. That you're at your home, anyway. And I think there's a lot better mobile choices. There's not even any money to be made in Hearthstone unless you are willing to play hundreds of thousands of matches. That's probably exaggerating. Tens of thousands isn't, though. Tens of thousands is probably extremely accurate. I think Eternal's just a much, much better game. I think anybody who's looking for a mobile game and they're not playing Eternal is making a mistake-aroo. Is it bad that I almost want to attack here? I guess it's not worth it, but I kind of want to trade the Rogue Refiner. Like, you just be playing Eternal right now. Chandra. Sure. That's a little disappointing. So, what do we want to draw now? Some kind of removal spell? That's not what we wanted to draw. It's because you think you're making decisions in Hearthstone arenas. I don't think that you believe me when I say that Hearthstone's easy. I think you disagree with that. If you actually thought Hearthstone was easy, I don't think you'd be playing it. You think there's some challenge to an arena. If they have a Glorybringer, we have to draw another spell pretty bad. Hearthstone's not even that free. Like if you want to play Constructed or anything on Hearthstone, you have to put a lot of time and effort into it. It's not even that free. Well, that's just not true at all. That's variance based. The challenge isn't if you played well, the challenge is did you open the right cards. That depends, Jordan. I value my time. If you don't value your time at all, then that's fair. I believe my time is worth money. Again, I think even whether you won't admit it or don't realize it, I think on a subconscious level that you're only having fun because you do think it's a challenge, which is fine. I think you don't realize that it's not a challenge. That's just a personal opinion. Hey, it's a bristling Hydra-Rapoo. That's fine. We can have different opinions on something. We don't have to have the exact same opinion. I mean, you probably should have the exact same opinion I have, but you don't have to. If he's gotten a braid for this, or like a lightning harness for this, these things still get massive, so it's fine. It's definitely not the most elitist thing I've ever said. Sure. I've said more elitist things than that, friend. And I'll continue to say more elitist things than that in the future. But back to what Jordan was saying, like, I believe my time is worth money, so. I think everybody should. Everybody should think that. Oh wow, that's kind of an interesting draw. I'm going to attack you for 1,000,000. Is it enough? I only put one counter on this because he could just have another abrade. Can you see the card I'm talking about that I said was an interesting draw? I don't know if I hovered over it or anything. It's what I would call a good one, though. No, they're tapping double blue. That means it's confiscation coup. Rip. We're going to lose to a confiscation coup. No, it was not the Gearhulk. Wow, wait, they're taking the one that's coming into play tapped. Does that mean they have yet another removal spell? Did they really have triple removal spells on these last few turns? That's insane, if they did. Okay, they did not have another removal spell. How do you not have the choice to play other things? You can just play Eternal, right? We have Murder and Nerver in our deck. That was a good one. That was about the best one that he could get there. He can't really attack. So if I attack with this, he has a potential of 3, 4, 5, 6, 14 block. Hey, I played Hearthstone because there wasn't a better option on my cell phone like a year ago or whatever. It's just there's better options now. I'm just going to play this because if I draw another Walking Ballista, we just win. We can't draw another Walking Ballista, by the way. I was trying to make a joke. It still just wins with like a number of draws, though. Like a snake would win if he doesn't draw a removal spell, for example. Sure. Well, we're definitely going to take 1 point of damage if that's your plan. I haven't touched it ever since ever since the one season I was going to get legendary, and then didn't realize that I started like 2 weeks late. That was the last I played of it. Well, there's a good chance I could just win with an attack, but there's no reason to make that attack when I just untap and win anyway. Hold up the grasp in case he like draws a glory bringer or whatever. Oh, you guys don't even know I have the grasp. There you go. You see that I have the grasp now. Alright. I guess we're stuck here for at least another hour. What do we do now? First of all, let's see how Hoogland's doing. Let's go see what changes Hoogland's made to approach. Maybe we'll make the same changes. Whoops. Let's see. Hex decks, MTG decks. Alright. Let's see what Hoogland did to the deck. Here we go. He added one port town. He changed the lands quite a bit. He added more plains over more islands. He added a Jace to the main deck. Don't want the Jace. The second descent from the sinful seems reasonable in the side. He added a Sphinx to the final word in the side as well. Yep, we're just not making any of those changes. What's our preview? Nope, we don't want to see that. We want to see our approach build and see if there's anything we're going to change to it before we start. This card's not been particularly good. Yeah. Let's make this change. Sphinx is fine, but I don't think I need the Sphinx to win. The decklist commands do not really work today, so apologize in advance. Playing multiple different decks. I think we're a favorite versus blue-red. I actually think we're a favorite versus blue-red pre-board. And I don't think game's in post-board. You bastard, you're actually taking a dig at. That's just rude. That's rude as fuck, fam. We got 20-ish minutes, so definitely gonna just load up a league. This is the deck that I think we should have been playing today. The reason I don't think we need it to beat them is because the deck has 7,635,000 answers. Like, the blue-red decks are just not going to beat you with 4 Gearhulks and 4 Wandering Fumaroles. What matchup do I not bring Cat in versus? Ramp? Probably don't bring it in versus Ramp. I probably bring it in versus Ramp too. I pretty much bring it in versus everything. I think you can just mill the blue-red decks. I think you have more answers than they have threats. This hand's fine. You like how I just snap keep the one-hand spell and don't really care? The only time that I don't really want this one spell hand is like if I'm playing exactly versus mono red. Everything else I'm fine. I have time to find spells, and this like cycles and drawing our lands is more important than anything else. Yeah, so they're playing the little aggro build? Sure. Or they're playing, this is the red-black mech. I think this is an actual horrible match for us, by the way. They have way too many discard spells, they have Lost Legacies, etc. Just do not think this matchup goes very well at all. You can just play Doomfall here, which makes me have to cycle this. It's sad that I'm cycling that, hoping that I miss. I kind of missed. That's fine. But they have like a million planeswalkers as well. It's pretty hard for us to beat any planeswalker. Like, he just has to resolve that, and he's in good shape. I have cast outs, but obviously you can see that we have drawn many cast outs, so we're in great shape here. Ah, cool. Another card that I want nothing to do with. My favorite. Why didn't I cast Watt for 4 life? Oh, I don't care about the life. I want to press F6 on every possible opportunity in the entire world. All I want to do is press F6. I don't need no life. I guess I could have, but don't care. Game ain't about all that, friend. I'm playing fine. I don't want the life. You can't make me take the life. I like giving my opponent the opportunity to think he has a chance and that the game's not just over. Hey, what? Why are you attacking me? Fine. I'll take it. Yeah, we have cast outs. Just have to draw one. We get a lot of draw steps for it. That's not one. There we go. It's not easy to beat his Planeswalkers, that's for sure. It's one of the reasons this deck's hard to beat. Like, Planeswalker threats are actual threats. Did I just hold up the Supreme Will? That's another Chandra. Is it worth counterspelling this Chandra? I don't think it's worth counterspelling this Chandra. Yeah, I'm fine not counterspelling this Chandra. We used everything we had to counterspell that Chandra. I don't think that's worth it. We're not in great shape now. We're in much better shape now. I think so too. That's why I didn't get it. Like, it kind of sucks for us if he Goblin Dark Dwellers into a Doomfall, but that's pretty much the only thing we care about. See him Goblin Dark Dwellering into a Doomfall. So, Chandra the approach is 6 cards down now. And the Supreme Will puts approach in hand. Oh. Whee! Whee! Oh well, anyway, I like the full conversion board versus decks like this. All these fumigates aren't good. These unsummons are just bad. These meltdowns are average. And besides that, I always just shave on cards. It's arguable that I should take one approach out because he could be on Lost Legacy, but how far are we to our next match? God, it could still be forevers. I like to keep some meltdowns and stuff because they can sometimes get the fast draws. Fumigates are okay too because like they have Glory Bringers, they have Kalatos, they have Gifted Everborn, they have Goblin Dank. This hand's fine. It can stop a Liliana. This hand's actually very, very weak. This hand's actually pretty incredibly weak, to be honest. TBH. No transgress, please. Thank you. TBH. Good buddy, good friend. Are we going to play around them having Liliana? Yes. Could have went ahead and Blessed Alliance that guy, but Dream Stealer? You get out of here. You're a good card. We don't want good cards resolving. It's just kind of one of my rules. I don't like good cards to resolve. This is the best advice I can give anybody who wants to play. I'm just going to take the damage because I'm hoping he doesn't cast Chandra if he has it. Sweet. He probably shouldn't cast Chandra till this turn anyway to stop us from playing a draw 2. Fortunately for us, we don't have a draw 2. What's this thing? Oh, that guy's going to bring some glory. Feel so much more comfortable playing this deck. This deck appeals to me as a deck that's good. Therefore, I must be much more comfortable playing it. What menacing spell are you going to play versus me? Alright, I guess we'll Glimmer in response to that then. I'll keep them both. I will keep them both. So go ahead and play this. We have a lot of answers for the Glorybringer, and I don't want to take any more damage than what I have taken. Bottom, top. He's just sour hands too, so like he was not going to play around anything that could have mattered via the Supreme Will. And we have a lot of cards to help us find a cast out if he does jam a Planeswalker here. And if it's just like Goblin Dank Dweller, we're not that upset. Though, if it is Goblin Dank Dweller, we probably should have played the Blessed Alliance, to be honest. TBH. TBH. So I assume he takes a Supreme Will. And we go on about our day. Alright. I guess that's a good enough one to cast. What's our next round looking like? Down to 7 matches, which means we won't be able to start another match. It's kind of interesting. Look, see if we can find the Fumigate. Oh. We found the Fumigate. What in the world do you do? Another target creature. So you can't even target yourself? That's pretty solid. So what is this? This is just turn 2 since we played the approach, right? So it's... And we cycled 1 card, so it's still 4 cards down? Eh. Makes him spend mana. And And approach is still 4 cards down, so we don't need to cast Blighted Cataract until next, or we don't need to sack Cataract until next turn. He doesn't get to draw another card though, right? Yeah, he doesn't get to draw a card. That's what I was wanting to check. If he could draw a card with his -1. I don't care if he gets to play that thing again. Him playing that thing means literal nothing to me. And next turn we draw to approach, so he needs a Lost Legacy or something this turn. Yeah. This is the one we knew about. Yep. This is just a deck I should be playing. I should have played in this event. I do think our opponent drew pretty poorly, though. He drew 5 spells in 18 cards. That's pretty poor. He is playing like a 25 or 26 land deck, though. Well, I'm not going to start another queue up with just 5 matches outstanding, so I guess let's review today's 5-0 decks. We'll do something. This is going to be the most boring YouTube video I've ever posted, by the way. Anybody watching this on YouTube is going to wonder why the hell did I not edit all of this dead time out? And I'll tell you why. I don't know how. Flamingo. Obviously, this guy just 5-0s like a million things. He's on Narset now? Narset's my bae. I'm all about some Narset. Tassiger, Leovold, Crumb, and Alliance. I don't know, let's look. Cards that rotate. Nope, nope. Linvala rotates, and Linvala is actually extremely good. Approach, Fumigate, Cast Out. Blessed Alliance rotates, that's another fairly important card. So Linvala, Blessed Alliance, I have, and Prairie Stream, but aren't we getting Glacial Fortress or something? Blessed Alliance is a pretty important card. I would consider Blessed Alliance one of the best cards in the deck. Blighted Cataract as well, which is relevant, but there'll probably be some card with some similarish effect. That's fair. Descent, but we only need Descent for zombies, and zombies is rotating out, so the Descent's not that important. The only reason that the Descents are in the sideboard whatsoever because of like Relentless Deads. They can hit gods too, but anyway, back to looking at 5-0 decks. Not going to bother looking at Legacy. Not going to bother looking at Pauper. Let's see what did well on Modern. Really? Infect 5-0'd. Disrupting Shoal Infect. I'm in. Somebody just hand me some Disrupting Shows, and that's the deck we'll play. The standard blue-white build got another 5-0. Anybody that's wanting to play blue-white or Jeskai in Modern should really be looking at this at least main deck 60. This main deck 60s, I'm not going to say his lands and stuff, but like, these Planeswalkers are almost definitely right. All the counter spells are almost definitely right. Anyway, onward. Glory Bringers in your Scape Shift deck. That's new. I've not saw this one before. Spite Bellows. That is an old school card. I am a fan. Merfolk has Chalice of the Void main now? Nice. We actually have Chalice of the Void. Daryl, Eris playing Hour of Promise Scape Shift. Hour of Promise is pretty good, especially with Colony Heart. I've not saw that before, but that's kind of interesting to me. And let's look at standard. Oh, what do you know? Blue-white approach. Playing the exact same 75 from the Grand Prix, no changes. Start and finish, not the biggest fan of that card. Vampiric Rats feels win more, but Black-white's not terrible. Nest is probably a fairly decent upgrade in this deck if you're playing the gates anyway. Collective Defiance over Chandra's main, that feels correct. Only one Chandra in the sideboard? See, this deck seems better than the deck we're playing. Like, it's got the 4th Catacomb Sifter in the main deck, which seems better than the Nissa. It's got one less land, which seems good. It's got Gonti in the sideboard, which seems good. Probably needs a murder over one of those, but in general, I think this deck's a pretty decent amount stronger than what we're playing. Alright, anyway, we killed 5 minutes. And we still have to wait on another match. Let's see how our friends are doing at least. Yeah, the Gonti in the sideboard is the important part. Megaphone, 1/3 drop. You know he's playing mono red. Alfredo's probably playing mono red or vehicles. He's at 2/2. Baconator, the guy who crushed us round 1, is down to 2/2. Binya, 1/2. That's Yuya, I believe. Bishop, 2/2. Ben S. White's, he'll probably be playing mono white Eldrazi. He's 2/2. I don't know all of these names. I'm just looking at the names that we know. This guy's playing mono red and he crushed us. Cuneo. This guy's streaming. Maybe we should all just go watch him. Casual 4-0. He's a pretty good player, but he mostly plays modern. I wonder what he's playing in standard. If he's mostly a modern player, I'm just going to assume that he's playing. I'm just going to assume he's playing zombies then. Which is probably not right. What else do we got going on? Jabber's 3-1. That's pretty nice. Jake's 2/2 for Hoogland. 3-1 for Jabron. I wonder if Jabron's streaming. I'm pausing while I go to look, by the way. Doesn't look like he is. If he is, there's nobody watching him today. There's only 11 people watching me, though, so what in the world do I know? 3-1, this guy typically plays red decks. 4-0, he typically plays red decks. 3-1, he typically plays like Teamer or Black-Green. 2/2 Kinger. Reetzel's 3-1. Luck Dragon's 2/2. I don't know what he plays in standard. He plays mostly blue-white in modern, mostly Brea in Commander. Gotta find something better for us to do between rounds. Dinger's down to 2/2. Oh, can you guys not hear me? Oh, yeah, I guess you can. There's a lot of strong players in the 2/2s. Found out who this was last night, but I can't remember now off the top of my head. Might be Nathan Holiday. Maynard 1-3. Remy 4-0. He's been playing Teamer. He top 4'd the MOCS playoffs last week, which is pretty sweet. Reed Duke 4-0, obviously. They just smash. Sandy Dog just 2-2. I guess Red's not working out today. Pazzo usually plays Red, I think. Down to 3-1 for Oliver. Yeah. Yeah, I think he plays zombies, right? He's mostly a modern player. Most of the people that are mostly modern players mostly play zombies. He's a pretty good streamer, by the way. I really enjoy his taste in music. What? He is not the top rank Eternal player, is he? I don't think he even plays Paper Magic. I have never seen him stream Eternal. You'd think he would stream Eternal some if he was the top ranked Eternal player. I think one of us is confused. It's probably me. But as much as I've watched him streamed, he's never even said the word Eternal, or nobody's ever said the word Eternal to him. And I've watched him for like dozens of hours. He's a pretty good player, though. Like I said, I like his stream. He's one of the few Magic players I follow. No, I could be confused. You could be right. I'm not saying you're wrong. Like I could very well be confused. Yeah, his name's Travis Sowers. It's definitely not whoever you're talking about. He has a podcast and stuff. I didn't think he was a I didn't think he was that guy. Since I watched this guy quite a bit. And he'd never mentioned the game Eternal one time that I'd heard. But like I said, this guy's a pretty good streamer. He's a good old country boy. He listens to some really nice music. He always wears colorful shirts. Like his shirts rock. Check out them flowers. I'm a big fan of this guy. At least one day of the week, he streams like what do you call it? He has like a metal day where he just like streams metal music while he's playing. You probably like him a lot. He's good people. Yeah, well, next round. We are currently 2-2, so we need to win 4 rounds in a row from where we're currently at to get our little invite. Not really worried about getting it or not. If we find a decent modern deck, we may play the modern MOCS next week. We've got like we accumulate QPs faster than we can spend them, so we still have 66, and I've not played events that could even win me QPs in like 3 weeks now. So definitely acquire them more than we can spend them when we're playing competitive leagues. The only bad thing about Travis is he's got cats. Ew, cats. I guess I should pull up the hand hider again. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Robbie loved the new Ghostbusters movie. I've not had a chance to watch it personally, but Robbie absolutely loved it. Hey Dumbo, I didn't even know you were here. How are you doing today? We're getting browned pretty hard. See, we're 2-2 in this, 2-3 in the other, so we're 4-5 with our little black green deck. What do we got here? We have a playable hand. Playable hand. Did I turn this thing on? Ah, so I turned this thing on. His hand's considerably less good if he's playing real spells. And by real spells, I mean anything that's like not mono red. I like how we're playing the deck that's tuned to beat mono red, and I think we've lost 3 out of 4 or something versus mono red. I'm not exactly sure. I think our win percentage versus ramp's probably negative. I'm assuming it's ramp if he's played these 2 lands first. I'm definitely assuming it's ramp now. And I'm pretty sure our win percentage is negative versus that deck. This survives. Let's one of my dudes survive Swelder. I don't think one of my dudes surviving Swelder matters a great deal versus the ramp deck because they have Hours of Devo. Alright, well, we're going to go for the big play and hope that he just doesn't have a removal spell. He's got the Hours. We're pretty well screwed, but it keeps my Sylvan Advocate and my alive through Hours, so it's about the best I can do. Still cleans up most of my board with Hours. He's not played a land yet. I guess that's good for us. Nah, he played a land. Never mind. And we missed a land drop. So if he just like untaps and has big boy, we're dead. Oh, there's the land. Big time, one time. No. Big time, no world breaker. Well, that's a world breaker. We have no outs. Right on time, Grasp of Darkness, when we no longer have the mana to spend on you. If he's got a second world breaker and or a Chandra, I'll probably scoop. Alright. He has a second world breaker. Or a Walking Bliss. I don't care what he has. Alright, so how do we try to beat that deck? I guess these are fun. This is fun. What do you do? Nothing? Sure. Alright, what's bad versus him? We'll go some Fatal Pushes and some Grass. I think this deck has next to no chance to beat Ramp if they draw the Hours. I guess this hand's a keep. This hand looks absolutely horrible, by the way, but we have this stupid Oath of Nis in our hand again. And this Oath of Nis is probably going to make us keep a bad hand. Sweet. Oath of Nis found us another land, and the game's probably over now. We'd have to draw exceptionally well to win now. Or our opponent draw exceptionally poorly. Well, we drew the snake for the turn. We didn't have a 2-drop. Drew another dead spell. That would have been sideboarded out if we had more things that were reasonable to bring in. Don't know why if people are going to cast spells like that, they don't just go ahead and play around Blossoming Defense just in case. Like, Blossoming Defense should probably be in my deck, so not playing around it seems ridiculous to me. And we have no spells in our hand that matter at all. Still no spells that matter at all. We're at 7 lands and 12 cards again. Just Chandra and we lose? Sure. Just Chandra and we lose. People are cutting Chandras out of these decks. Like the build that Sean gave Rick doesn't have Chandras and it's just Roan, yet Rick likes the deck. I'm hoping that Rick made changes and put Chandras in, because if he didn't, that's ridiculous. Eh? He could not have a second of Braid, I guess. That'd give us some chance. Problem is, if he just untaps, has a land in World Breaker, we lose our biggest threat. He could easily just have a World Breaker here. He could have a burn spell or an abrade or something. Rather, not a burn spell, but an abrade. Which is probably the only burn spell that's in his deck. Probably has either the braid or something, or he probably would have. He pretty much has to have it. I like how I can't even beat him in a race now. Eh. Sure. We can draw Walking Ballista. Or we can draw another Gearhulk if he has literal nothing. As anything at all, we're just dead. Yeah. 4 lands still can cast World Breaker. No big deal. Rip. Alright. Dead on board? Well, I guess we're not dead on board, but we're dead on board. 9 out of 15 cards were lands. Alright, now we really are dead on board. We can't deal with Chandra and this. So our best case scenario is we're at 3 life. By the way, these are the best ramp spells in this deck, so people that aren't like playing the max of these and are playing Beneath the Sands and stuff are just wrong. Alright, Little Oath of Nissa, you're everything that we ever wanted. And we're dead, by the way. We have no out. Just kind of curious what he has. Alright, well, that was a laughably bad stream. I do not think this deck is very good at all. This deck seems like it's super... Well, not that deck. That deck's great. This deck seems like it's super weak in tons of spots. The sideboard doesn't feel right. Playing a bunch of bad cards like this and this just to get a leg up in the red match and still being able to lose the red match quite frequently seems pretty bad. Yeah, just not a fan of this deck list at all. Wasn't a fan of it before we came into the tournament, so definitely not a fan of it now. Anyway, we got smashed pretty hard. We'll probably be back tomorrow. We may play the Commander event. We may not. Depends on how many of the cards Sean has and how many of the cards Sean doesn't have. And so on. Probably going to go ahead and host... probably going to host... the guy that's 4-0 in the Almost CS today. He's a pretty good guy. I like him. Oh, he's playing Mono Red versus Ramp. Yep, we're definitely going to host him then. Was a nice stream. There's a link to my Twitter down below. Follow my Twitter to see every time I go live and all the deck lists we play. On my Twitter, there's a link to my YouTube, which gets updated daily as well. And we'll be back tomorrow. See you guys.